Okay, ZapTheater image filters are similar to like Photoshop image filters, except that ZapTheater filters are dynamic, and you can create effects like blur and grayscale and sepia. And let's take a look here real quick. Let's see. Okay, so we have our left image open here, and the image filters are all set with these controls here. And to get an idea though what it's going to do beforehand, let's say that you want to do it, look at blur. And by the way, over here it shows the acceptable values, so from 0 to 20, 0 to 300, 0, and then the default value would be 100 on this one on your contrast. So you have a menu here that gives you an idea of what values you can enter. And just to see what it does though, if you make a changes here, it shows it in your viewport here. So you can see there we changed that to we saw how the blur works and all the way up, and it shows 20 is the max. And let's go with sepia here, so you can see it changes it to like the old black and white 1950s photos. And you can have degrees of that, and it gives you the numbers here, which you can enter down here along your timeline. And once again, this is dynamic, so that as you progress through the timeline, these changes will occur continuously over the image, over the course of the timeline. That being said, let's take a look at what each of these does. There are 8 different filters. So let's start with blur. And what I did, I went ahead and set these up so you wouldn't have to sit and watch me type in the numbers. But you're going to start at the default value, and you can see that here is 0 for no blur, and 20 is the max. So over 2 seconds, we're going to go from 0 to max blur, and for 2 seconds more, from 2 to 4 seconds, it's going to stay blurred max. At 6 seconds, it's going to from 4 to 6 seconds, the blur is going to go away, and it's going to be back to just the normal picture. And let's take a look. Okay, there it's blurred, and there it's unblurred. Okay, and with all of these, as you go down through these different filters, I've already preset those so that we don't have to sit here and type them in. But okay, so on the brightness scale, once again, you can go brightness here, and you can just get an idea. And we know that if there's 0 brightness here, it means it's black. And let's go back to 100, which is the default. And you can see that here, 100 for no change. Also, all of these you can slide and get an idea, and then use the number from here if you want to have something in between the max and a minimum value. This will give you an idea what each number looks like for that image. And okay, so let's go ahead and just run this preview. So it's going to start at the brightness of 100, which is the default, and as you can see, no change. And then 0 at 2 to 4 seconds, it's going to be at 0, and at 6 seconds, it's going to go back to the max, which is 300, and then it's going to come back to 100. And actually, this one down here we want to set for 100, so it stays the same. Update preview. Now it's at the max and back to normal. And so that's your brightness. And the contrast is let's see what the contrast is your 100 is no change, so your default setting is 100, and 0 goes to 0. It pretty much just makes it gray. And then 1000 is max contrast, and then at 14 seconds we're going to go back to 100, which is the default. So preview. some reason it didn't go back to 100. Let's say update preview. See at 12 at 14 seconds. No, we're just not waiting long enough. Okay, that's all. I had it set for 14 seconds, and we didn't wait long enough. For whatever reason, I put a big gap in there. Okay, so it stayed at full contrast for or full brightness for 8 seconds, and then it faded back in. Okay, grayscale. Okay, it took her to gray, and now it takes her back to normal. And that's over a course of, you can see pretty much every 2 seconds. Went from full color to full grayscale, stayed there for 2 seconds. Over another 2 seconds, it came back to full color. Update preview. These are all set that way. Just okay. Invert, and you can see what that does. And there's a lot of settings in between the minimum and maximum. You can play around with all these. Saturate, update, preview. And that's what saturate does. Sepia, update. We didn't need to update it. Okay, sepia basically it's sort of almost black and white, but it's not really black and white. Let's go back and watch it again. Okay, that's saturate. Sepia. Okay, so it goes to sort of like an old picture that's faded out. And hue, rotate, update. Oh, we don't need to update. I'm in the habit of doing that. Okay, there's hue, rotate goes 360 degrees, and each of the values for these are there's a note at the top what the max value is, and you can play around with it. You can also play around here, and you can do this with both left and right images, and you can also like combine blur. Let's say we could combine blur with hue, rotate. Let's go with 0. Let's say 0, and then let's go to let's see 20, which is the max. Okay, so and then down here we'll keep it at 20 so it doesn't unblur. Update, preview. So you can combine all these. You get any combination of these you can play around with. So that pretty much explains the image filters, and hopefully you'll find them useful. And I'm going to basically turn this into a presentation, or I'm going to save this presentation here and have it autoplay and turn it into a slideshow in the on our homepage, so that this will all be available to view for new people. And that's it for this lesson, and thanks for watching.